Good evening, guys. Welcome, F1 This and That. It's the chat, and this time around, the chat previews the Austrian GP that starts tomorrow, the 2nd of July, Friday. Practice 1 and Practice 2 as normal. In Austria, Spielberg. Schocker, again, welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
Good evening. I'm very well. Thank you so much for asking and for having me. Welcome to you too, Alex. And is it really starting tomorrow, or has it started like 2 weeks ago or something? Because I mean,
What? What do you mean? Isn't it like a different track?
it is. It is. It's a different track at Spielberg. It's
At least the name. The name
yeah, yeah. The name for sure it's different.
completely
And yeah,
different.
it's totally different. So different that they even changed the tires for this weekend.
Yes, yes.
So
But
yeah, double header on the Red Bull Ring.
yeah, that's it. Are
So
you
do you want to
sad?
start with the hugs, or do you want to go jump straight into the action?
With the hugs, I'm not ready.
Not
But
ready. Okay, that's fine. We leave it for the end.
no, but I believe that you are. So
No, I'm not.
no, no, no,
I-
no. You said it's
I'm
okay. So
I'm
hugs,
totally
Shaka.
lost. Hugs? What is that?
So send hugs. Go.
Let's send hugs. This time around, I think we should send many hugs to our German, French, and Hungarian friends, the whole bunch,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
because we were also buddies that none of us is playing the Euro Cup at the moment.
I don't know what
So
you're talking
they all deserve.
about. I don't know what you're talking about, and actually, I don't want to talk about it. Okay, but
I don't want
my
some.
hugs, my hugs, my hugs, my hugs are going to our future sponsors.
Okay. Are
Hopefully,
they?
one one day, one day, I believe that these guys eventually
They
will
will.
will look at us and think, okay, yes, these guys deserve like a sponsorship or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
Um, let's send them cans, empty empty cans of Monster.
Just
Anyway,
because you can. Yes, you can.
yeah. Anyway, so today we're
Yes.
talking about
A
the
whole
next
new Grand
Grand
Prix.
Prix.
Yes.
Next Grand Prix, it will be exactly where it was last weekend. So in Austria, Spielberg at the, as you said, the Red Bull Ring, also known as A1 Ring, several years ago, or whatever.
Whatever, yes.
Yes.
Go with that.
Um, so yeah, before we go there, we have several questions actually from our followers in Instagram because today we just dropped just a reminder about the this preview, and so people went there and just wrote some questions that we are going to deal with and to answer, obviously. But we'll get to that now. Before that, Shaka, do you know the track?
It's a whole new venue. It's the first time for me. I have no idea.
It's the
Tell
first
me.
time,
Tell me
right?
all about the track.
The track has tarmac,
Okay, okay, that's a start. That's good.
a couple of several turns. Okay, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right.
Okay, so it's not a drag race.
It's not a
Fine.
drag race. Okay, so we're
Yeah.
getting somewhere, and that's it.
Awesome.
Now it's like this: the track, as we all know, and we're not going to spend much time looking at the track
Yes,
because we did
true
it
that.
exactly a week ago, right? While we were doing the preview to the Styrian GP. So yes, as you can remember, it goes like this.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's a double header,
Yeah.
so twice in the same track. Differences will be the tires, obviously the weather,
It's the
which
second time. It's the second time you're talking about the tires, so you are really like eager to
it's the
talk
only
about.
difference. Yes, because it's the new thing that,
That's true.
well,
That's true.
the weather will change as well because it
Or
always does.
not. Or not. Or not.
Yeah, or not.
Or not. Or not.
Then again, yeah, those are the variables. So, pretty much same track. The weather. Do you want to speak about the weather first and not the tires, or do you want to skip to the
No,
tires now?
actually,
Yeah.
talking about the track, one of the questions has to do with the track. Okay,
Mhm.
and if we go on the Instagram, do you know the Instagram?
Hmm. Do you mean our Instagram? Because
Yes,
we have an Instagram. Yes, it's the F1 this and that.
exactly. Okay, it's F1
How
underscore.
silly did I
I just
sound?
noticed that it is F1 underscore this underscore N underscore that
True. But if
because
you run a search with F1 this and that, you
yeah,
will
it will
also
appear
find us.
automatically. The
Yeah.
logo is exactly the same as the YouTube channel, so it's exactly the same. No worries. But one of the questions that we have there is from our follower. Okay, it's also has an underscore e underscore Skygamur. 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 Anyway, um, and she's asking, what the hell is the name of the little tight curves and why are they called like that?
Okay.
Okay, I'm assuming that she's talking about the chicanes. What do you think?
Uh, what chicanes?
Tight
Is it
curve.
turn 7 and turn 8?
I don't think that she's talking about this track specifically. Okay, I think she's
Okay,
talking
okay.
about
In
in
general.
general.
Oh, okay. Makes
Okay,
sense.
and yeah, what the hell is the name of the little tight curves and why are they called like that? So I'm going to assume it is the she's talking about the chicanes. Okay, so Shoka, please explain chicanes.
Well, chicanes they happen. They are put there each time we want to decrease speed without actually, breaking the race flow, or
Mm-hmm.
at least that much.
Yeah,
So that's why we have them.
yeah.
They also represent an opportunity for overtaking, meaning that each time a car goes into braking there,
Mm-hmm.
there's always an opportunity for another car who's behind to try and overtake that car. Um, the name chicane, I was reading about that a while ago. Do you know the origin of the name
No,
chicane?
no, no.
Um, that's the one thing that I don't know. Sorry. Do you have anything further to add?
No, it's just exactly that. So normally it's after like a huge straight, okay? As you said, to decrease speed, yes, and there are chances to overtake. Okay, so I believe that's what she's talking about. If it
Mhm.
isn't, she can always comment back. But yes, I believe it is the chicanes. Yes, cool. Regarding pleonasm, welcome. Uh, French, Hungarian, and German, we are in this together. Yes, unfortunately, unfortunately, yes. It's called Europe. Uh, but yes, and then he wrote agua, water. Okay,
Water.
and why didn't he write Coke, Coca Cola? Okay,
Um. Oh, because I thought he was going for Captain Planet, and he just summoned, water. So we were just missing fire, wind. What
okay.
else? Earth. No, to geek. Oh, about the chicane word. So it comes from the French verb chicaner. I mean, I don't know how to spell how to say this, but basically
Just try it
it
because it's
means.
fun. It's funny.
Yeah, you want to see me try and fail miserably, right?
Yes, just like me.
No, no,
Every
no.
time
Your
I open
French
my
is good.
mouth.
Your French is good, my friend. I won't even
Oh,
dare.
merci, merci.
Très bien.
Très bien.
So, which means to create difficulties or to dispute pointlessly.
Pointlessly?
Yeah.
Makes sense. At least to create difficulties.
So, yeah.
Very well.
So that is that. What we just said, because obviously,
Cool.
if it's a straight, we want to create some difficulties, some
Yes.
opportunity to decrease speed and etc.
I
Overtaking.
think I think
Blah,
that
blah.
the chicanes were introduced like with more emphasis. I would say they were. called, and they were put in some tracks. They were added to some tracks in a
Mm-hmm.
way that was not very smart.
Mm-hmm.
And especially after 1994, Imola, as we can all remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So after Senna's death and Roland Ratzenberger's death at Imola, then, and we've talked about this a while ago, they decided to create chicanes all over the place. They did it in
Mm-hmm.
Barcelona, in Estoril as well. They screwed up Estoril with that awful chicane there. So back then in the 90s, yes, they
It
just
really saddens my heart.
yeah, they decided to put chicanes all over the place just to slow the cars, basically,
Yeah. Okay.
and to avoid accidents. But slowly they started to remove and to find other options. In this case, at the moment, there are movable chicanes. We're talking about Mazespin. It's the only name that comes to mind. But yes, movable chicanes. It's a joke, obviously, and that's it basically. I think
Yeah.
they are important. For instance, that chicane in Monza. What do you think about that one? The first chicane.
Well, I used to be a huge fan of the original ones.
Two, right?
Yeah. This one nowadays, it's it's um it's not bad. It's not 100% bad.
Mm-hmm.
It 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 has it adds a level of difficulty to the track, which in other words would be just a huge straight line. I mean, the whole track if we had no chicanes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I cannot say that I'm a huge fan. I used to enjoy the old version much
Mm-hmm.
better, which
Mm-hmm.
nowadays you have the straight line. Sorry, the start finish straight line,
Yeah.
and it ends on one chicane. Before it used to end on a double chicane with a small kink to the right.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's just it's straight on and one chicane, and then you continue, you carry on
That's it.
the track through Curva Grande,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Yeah. Some questions here that we can address now at Instagram.
By the way, the word in French was chicane.
Chicane? Chicane?
Chicane.
Chicane. Chicane it is.
There you go. I said it.
One
So.
of our followers, F1 underscore PRT, okay,
Mhm.
he just dropped us a question that we touched on this subject before, but especially with the last Grand Prix in
Mhm.
mind, I think it is important to talk about it. And the question is, can McLaren win the fight against Ferrari, considering Ricardo performances? It's a
Well,
very good question.
it is. It is a very good question indeed. My humble opinion, and as a Ferrari, as a McLaren fan, would be obviously to actually see both McLaren drivers to come out on top on this one.
Hmm.
But I have honest concerns because, as we've mentioned before, Ricardo has is struggling with the car, meaning that this is more or less just Lando stranded in front
Hmm.
and Carlos Sainz and Leclerc just chasing after him.
That's true.
So you have what could be a four-horse race. We just have a three-horse race with one horse being McLaren and the other two a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And basically that's it. Now, that McLaren has some serious pace, race pace.
Yeah.
Um, if Ricardo could, just be almost there with Lando, then yeah, it would totally turn the tie in McLaren's favor. But I don't actually see that happening.
It's interesting because the other questions that we have
Mm-hmm.
here is from are from actually our follower Kels,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and she also asked about Ferrari. And she said you had queried before if Ferrari is able to stay on the top, okay, on top with the results, because we were talking before that Ferrari didn't have the race pace, but all of a sudden during the Styrian GP, I don't know what happened there, but Leclerc did an amazing race. Carlos Sainz as well, you know. So she's asking that. So we had queried before about if Ferrari is able to stay at the top, okay? And she then asked, "How do you feel about that after Ferrari's last race results?"
Yeah, that's a really good. That's a really good
I
question.
think
I
it's all
was
linked. All these questions are linked
okay.
in the same to the same thing. Basically, understands if the pace is real for Ferrari, and in the end, if they're able to keep the fight or take the fight to McLaren.
I'm actually really happy that she asked that because it was something that I wanted to discuss on this on today's video.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a question of just going back and reviewing the last weekend's race, but I've watched the race inside the Charles camera, and so the highest position that he attained was a P6 before going into his first stop with a
Mm-hmm.
damaged front wing. And then he did an amazing race coming back from last. So he was in P6, he went to last, and
Mm-hmm.
then he came back to P6 again.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder,
P6 or P7? P7.
I think he finished P6, no?
No, Sainz P6 and Leclerc P7.
And okay, so
It's the
yeah, I
same.
forgot. Yeah, yeah. So I just wonder there, how can I read this race pace from Charles? Because in one way, you have this Ferrari coming from the back, doing an awesome race, just overtaking everyone in the pits,
Yeah,
doing some overtakes whilst on track. Amazing. It was
it
really
was.
amazing. Incredible pace. But what happened to the other Ferrari that was in P6?
Hmm.
What happened there?
The Ferrari had the pace to be quicker than all the other cars except the Mercs.
Themselves
No, except the
and
Mercs,
McLaren,
Red Bulls,
well,
and McLaren.
except Lando.
And Lando, yeah. Lando, Red Bulls, and the Mercs. I think that was it. Because Ferrari was faster than Alpine, that's obvious.
Yeah.
Than Aston Martin. Gasly was no longer there, so faster than the other AlphaTauri.
Hmm.
And the others we don't have to mention, right? Williams. Well, William.
Well,
No.
perhaps this weekend we'll have another go at that.
Oh man, no, no! Don't give me hope again.
No, no, I'm not giving you anything.
I cannot survive to another disappointment. Anyway, so yeah, those were several questions that were asked, and to be honest, and to answer directly to the questions, I feel that McLaren will come up on top. I think they will be third in the constructors championship, despite at the moment there's only one car
Yeah.
delivering points. Ferrari. Again, I don't think that they have the race pace. Why? Because this is a special track, Shaka. This is a track that takes what, 1 minute and 3 seconds or 4 seconds or
Yeah.
well, not that actually, 1 minute and 5, 6, 7 seconds, right?
Hmm.
Last race, the fastest lap was Hamilton in the soft tires, 1 minute seven something,
Hmm.
right? But normally it's 1 minute 8 seconds, so it's a quick one, you know.
Yeah.
The race pace probably is not that important here. I don't know, but in the long run, and because Ferrari already stopped developing this year's car, and McLaren, I believe they are still trying something. Okay, I truly believe that McLaren will come up on top. So yes, that's my prediction. Red Bull first, Mercedes second, McLaren third, and Ferrari. We'll see if Ferrari is able to keep the fourth place. and I'm talking about Aston Martin to get up there.
Well,
We'll see.
I'm I'm looking at the results from the last weekend, and all four cars in front, the two Red Bulls and the two Mercs, they all these four cars they all finished um,
Within the
one
same
lap
lap.
ahead
Yeah.
uh, of everyone else in the F1
Was it all
paddock.
or only Max?
All of them.
But Carlos Sainz unlapped himself from Hamilton, right? Or was it 2 laps?
Um, well, what we have on the standings is Verstappen, Hamilton, Bottas, and Perez. They all finished 71 laps with 71 laps completed. Then we have P5 for Lando, and from there downwards we have all others with 70 laps.
But I think that is to Max. I think it. I think it is. I'm not sure, but I think it is.
No, this is just the numbers of laps
I know, I know, I
that
know.
counted.
But as soon as the first driver crosses the finish line
Mm-hmm.
and gets the checkered flag, all the other cars behind him also
Mm-hmm.
finish the race.
Exactly.
Okay, so I don't
So
know.
you're saying that Lando and Carlos Sainz and perhaps Leclerc were stuck between Max's and Hamilton's car?
That's what
Could
I'm saying.
be.
I
Could
don't
be.
know. I don't know. I'm just saying this because Sainz unlapped himself from Hamilton. That's
Yeah,
what
he
you've
did.
mentioned before, right?
But
So
wasn't that before the pit stop? Didn't he? I think he did a pit stop afterwards.
I don't know.
Not sure.
Anyway,
But
but
I'll check it. I'll check it.
yeah, but I think in the end that's not that relevant, right? But
Well,
Pleonasmo just asked something very interesting. Okay,
mhm.
what happened to Williams? I forgot. Yeah, Latifi was almost last, so nothing, not much. Pleonasmo, thank you. Okay.
It's quite interesting to read what Leonardo said about the chicane and the Portuguese expression chicana. Yes, we do have that. Chicanagem, I never used it,
No.
to be honest. But yeah, could be because it makes sense.
Yeah.
So very interesting to
Yeah.
read it.
Chicane is a bad guy, not bad guy in the sense of bad guy. He's like I would say liar, someone that is trying to deceive others to So yeah,
Okay.
it is a bad guy overall, obviously, but
Hmm.
yeah, not bad guy like he will hit you and beat you up. No, not like that, but in the other sense,
We'll be a little bit more gentle and hit you
more gentle. Yes, we'll do it. Yeah, in
with
the
the stick.
night. So yes, yes, Pleonasm. Thank you for reminding me. But yes, George Russell was eight, and he just had an issue with the car and had to just stop the car. Thank you. Don't want to talk about that again. Anyway,
So moving on. Moving on.
moving on. Regarding the questions, thank you so much for the questions, guys. If you have more questions, please just write in the Instagram comment box here, wherever. Okay, we will receive all the questions and we will answer all of them. Okay, no
Hmm.
worries. Now let's talk about the tires, Shaka.
So the tires. Okay, let's wrap this one up really quick because tires for this weekend they are very simple. So we had
They're very simple. Yes.
yeah, it's the softest of compounds that they have. Meaning that it's the hard one will be the C3,
Yeah.
the medium one will be the C4, which
Yeah.
is the yellow stripe one. The hard is the white one,
Yeah.
and the soft tire, the red stripe, is the softest of them all, which is the C5.
Question: what's the
Mhm.
difference from these ones to the last weekends?
Last weekend, they had them a little bit harder. So this weekend we have C3, 4, 5. Last weekend we had C2, C3, and then C5. So the range is Softer, meaning that tires will degrade at a faster rate, even though it's not such an abrasive track. This one, so
But do you think, in terms of strategy, do you think that they will need to pit because they only did one, right? One pit stop.
well, if anything,
Only Perez did two,
mhm,
right? But the majority of the drivers, it was only one.
yeah, I'm sure that the teams will want to minimize stationary time
Hmm.
at all costs. Especially because there are these new rules coming in terms of pit stops. We'll talk about this a little bit later on. There has been a lot of controversy about the pit stops and how they are at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that the teams will want to minimize pit stops to the bare minimum, which would be just one stop. Again, we know for experience that the two stopper can be much faster, meaning that you can start with either a soft compound, go on to a hard one, and then at the end switch to a softer. And throughout the race, you will need to be pushing really hard
Yeah.
because you are just, you are okay to burn rubber or to shred rubber. Or you can do the other way around, which is save time in one pit stop, which around here is around what, 25 seconds, 25, 26.
It looks like a long pit lane, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it does, and especially you do take some pain with the pit entry and also with the exit because it ends up, or when you are exiting the pits, you just finish it in a
Yeah.
curve. In
Basically,
any case,
the main straight is the pit lane.
exactly, and a little bit more. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, the teams will try to minimize. They will try to save as much time as possible. If they can just survive with one pit stop, that's good
I don't.
for them. But
Mhm.
I still think that the way to go would be a two-stopper
I
with
think so as well.
finishing
Yeah.
with a
I
softer
think so.
compound.
I think so. I think there will be two pit stop strategy. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say
Well,
so because it will be quicker in the end. So they will probably
yeah.
just take that into consideration. I don't know. Pleonasm just said, as you said, it was very simple. He said that yes, they are very simple. They are round. Some because well, it's up to Pirelli sometimes to to make sure that they are round in the end as well.
Squared, round,
Yeah.
shaped.
Regarding the tires,
So yeah, that's pretty much it about tires. So a bit softer than last week.
which is something that we like, right? More, they'll be faster, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And strategy-wise, more complex. Let's call it that, right?
yeah. In terms of strategy, I foresee the front runners sticking to last weekend strategy. I mean, the Mercs and Red Bull, perhaps.
Like what?
Just using the hardest, so that would be C3 and C4. And perhaps we will see a little bit of a shake-up in the midfield.
That's the
And
thing. That's the thing.
one thing is for sure. Um, Red Bull, they have a huge benefit and engine. Uh, they've made engine advancement. Let's call it that.
Pleonasmo engine. We're talking about
Yes, we are
Red Bull's
talking about
engine.
Honda.
Okay, so
Honda.
pay attention.
So here's the story. Because they were sick and tired of having this issue and with the new F1 engine, etc. For this year, well, for the past 2 years, Honda has their jet engine engineers looking into improvements. So the engine that we have for 2021 has been developed for the past 2 years with within this jet engine department for Honda, which we are now obviously reaping the rewards of such investment that they've made, and it's actually good to see another fast car there going for wins.
Yeah.
So, having said that, disguised or masked as reliability updates,
Hmm.
they actually managed to on our last video I was saying that they had a plus 14 brake horsepower, which actually it's not accurate at all. It's more
Hmm.
or less between 25 to 30.
Yeah.
So it is a huge difference. It is a huge difference. And when you align that, and I'm choosing my words carefully, I'm saying when you align all that with the philosophy of the Red Bull car,
Yeah.
which is shaped with a high rake, meaning that the end bit of the car stands higher than the front end, which the combination of all this generates a negative lift, meaning that the car will be hooked to the ground with less drag. I mean, it's a huge, huge package, very strong package. And Honda, they were very clever with the updates. The philosophy of the car also ties into this, and it's perfect. It's a match made in heaven.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if the Mercs and everyone else in the in the paddock can actually match this high performance that Red Bull is having at the moment,
Yeah.
and it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. It is. It is. We'll see.
So, yeah, very special track as you were saying. And coming back to you, I don't actually see much of a difference up in front. We will see the Red Bulls in first. We'll see the Mercs second. If Paris can
We'll see.
deliver a little bit more, perhaps he can share a podium with like one P1 and P2. If not, it's going to be Max, Hamilton, Bottas.
I think it all depends on the qualifying as well,
Yeah,
and something else, the
the
weather.
weather.
And the weather, the weather will be. I remember last week we failed miserably when we were
Yeah.
talking about the weather because we were saying that last Friday was going to rain, and then Saturday would be sunny, and then
It
Sunday
rained
would
again on
would rain
Sunday.
again. Yes, and all of a sudden we had like sunshine in every single day of the
Well,
weekend.
we had a gray Sunday, and towards the end, afterwards, it kind
After
of
the
rained
checkered
again.
flag,
Yeah,
yes, like I don't know, half an hour later, it started to rain.
like 2 days later, it rained.
No, but no, it started to rain like half an
Eh,
hour after the podium. It started to rain, but so it is what
It
it
is what
is.
it is. Yeah.
Exactly, um, as Pleonasmo very well normally says, it is what it is. Um, Tomorrow it will be cloudy. Okay, the temperature 19 degrees. Chances of rain are minimal, but yes, can some drops. Okay. Um, Saturday, sunny, 26 degrees. Okay, and again for the qualifying, that's what we want. All right, for obvious reasons, to see all the power there really unleashed. Okay, and then Sunday, it says here that it will be cloudy again, 24 degrees, chances of rain, especially in the morning and in the evening. Uh, Saturday evening, they're saying that it's going to rain. Okay, so I don't know if that will change the track, but at least it will clean the track from rubber. But
At least in this reality,
in this
it
reality that we're
will
talking about,
be
yes,
like this. But
yes,
we don't know which reality we will end up on.
exactly.
So let's
As
see.
it is
Wait and
right
see.
now, okay, as based on the information that we have, this is what they say. It's everywhere, okay, but we know that probably won't be like this in the end, okay.
Yeah.
So that was it regarding the weather. Last thing regarding this weekend's Grand Prix that we would like to mention is the schedule, obviously, okay, and let's talk about that as soon as I put it here.
Well,
Tell
pretty
me,
much there are no surprises there. It's going to be the same schedule as last week,
are you sure?
and pretty much they have kept the same timings for the practices,
Yeah.
practices 1, 2, 3, qualifying, and the race itself.
The schedule we have here in front of us is
Hmm.
for green GMT, green.
Gesundheit.
Exactly. Greenwich Meridian Time. Okay,
Yes.
so
P1 on tomorrow,
tomorrow,
Friday.
yeah, 10:30, 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly. So all the practices are 1 hour, so half
Yeah,
past 10. Practice two in the same day. Tomorrow it's going to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
yeah.
Then we come on to Saturday. Do you want to take it from there?
Saturday,
Is
yes,
your yeah
11 a.m. Practice 3, 1 hour, and then qualifying at 2 p.m. Qualifying, that's it, at 2 p.m. And then Sunday, the race at the same
the
time
race?
at the qualifying. Don't forget, this is for GMT time, okay? Central Europe. It will be, you just have to add 1 hour, okay? So
Exactly. I
it will,
believe you meant remember. Remember,
remember
it's
what?
GMT.
Oh, GMT, yes.
Yeah, but you meant to say remember instead of don't forget. Positive spin, and you use that positiveness to appeal to your memory, you know? Because if you put the forget in the equation, you're likely to forget. Therefore, you say remember. That's the difference between, remember and you don't say don't forget.
Are you done? May I?
You may.
You are absolutely right. Yes. Let's stop using negative speech. Anyway,
I
more
once had a
things
coach,
about the weekends. Shaka.
Sorry, I was thinking about my coach from once upon a time in the past.
The
Yes,
week
you're saying, sorry,
the weekends regarding the race.
talking
I
about the
think it will
band the
be.
weekend or this weekend?
Huh?
Are you talking about the band the weekend? No,
It's not the band. It's a guy, right?
could be one
Yeah,
man's band.
I think so. I don't know. I don't follow. Sorry.
So yes,
But if
the
he wants
weekend.
to sponsor us, that's fine. We will get to know him. So yes, the
So yeah,
weekends.
this weekend.
Yeah, this
Good
weekend the
stuff.
race. It all depends on the weather. I think the qualifying will be very important, as you said, for Checo Perez. If he does a good qualifying, he will be able to fight for P1, P2. I'm not saying P1 because if Max is there, Max will be the P1. Okay, so
Most likely.
it all depends on the qualifying. I believe Checo is still not very comfortable in the qualifying sessions, but we'll see. Interesting to see for this weekend, and we should take notes about that, is the Ferraris, okay?
Mhm.
The pace, to check if that's real. I believe it is real for this race, okay? For this track. I think the Ferrari is suited for this track as well, okay? But we'll see. We'll see. And then all the others, I was going to say Williams and George Russell, but I don't want to talk about that. No,
You don't want to talk about that.
no.
Anyways, I think the interesting bit will be with what we normally call the back markers.
Yeah.
I will. I'm hoping to see some good fights there,
Hmm.
especially with Gasly if he
Gasly,
manages
yes,
to
yes,
complete at least the first lap without
yes.
incident. None of which was his fault, but in any case,
No,
yeah, I want to see that guy finishing the race because
I think he's
that car looked promising. At least I felt that he could mount a challenge to Lando,
definitely, definitely.
especially now that we know that they have the AlphaTauri and Red Bulls. They actually have a rocket strapped on the back
They
of those
have,
cars,
yes.
so it's a very good
Pleonasme. We were talking
on the
about on the
engine.
yeah pleonasme. We were talking about on the engine.
F1 this and that, calling pleonasmo.
Yes,
Command
on the.
pleonasmo.
We talk
Command
about on
pleonasmo.
the. Now, why are we
But
saying this?
yeah,
Pleonasme is a huge fan of um,
the
let's
Asian
just
world.
keep it simple on the okay. So yes, that's why we're mentioning this.
And so, circling back to the weekend, yes, I foresee some good fights in the back. I would like to see them in the front, out in the front, but all things being equal and Checo performing well, I would say Max, Checo, Hamilton, Bottas, Lando, and who knows, Gasly or Sainz
Yeah,
or even Leclerc
yeah,
finishing in P6. I
yeah,
mean, either of those three can be a contender to P6.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll wait and see how it
Yes,
will all unfold.
the race, I think it will be very interesting. Now, before we go on to the news, okay,
Mhm,
we have a couple of news to talk about and to discuss and to comment.
mhm.
I would like to mention something, Shocker. The next Grand Prix will be the British Grand Prix, okay, on the weekend of the 16th of July to the 18th of July. All right, and we're going to do the live for the sprint qualifying. Yes, did we decide
Yes,
that already?
yes,
Was it a yes or a yes?
yeah, yes. I might be at a different venue on that weekend, so it's gonna be quite interesting to see.
What do you mean different venue?
Means it won't be in this one,
Hmm.
but yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll manage.
Okay, we'll see. So
Yeah,
closer to the date, we will just confirm. Okay, if we do
yeah.
the live during the sprint qualifying. Okay, but just to make you aware, guys, that yes, it will be the British Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time is
Hmm.
it? Is it? When
Yeah.
is it? One.
It's 3 weeks time because we'll have
Two. No, it's two
like a
weeks'
two
time.
week. Is it? Is
Yeah,
it like three
yeah.
three
This
races in a
Sunday is the
row?
fourth. The fourth, then 11th, no race, and the 18th race. So yeah, 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks' time, okay, we'll have
True.
the chance
Yeah, yeah.
to learn and to watch
True.
for the first time the sprint qualifying race. Okay,
Yeah.
the time is really interesting as well. The sprint qualifying is at 4:30. Shocker,
Hmm.
and it's here. It says it's only half an hour, which makes sense actually,
If
right?
it's just 100
Yeah, they'll do that in half an hour.
100 kilometers, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
can wrap this one up
I think will be very
in half an
interesting.
hour. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Then the race is at 3. But closer to the date, we'll confirm all this and we'll talk about the British GP. Okay, but just wanted to make you aware that yes, in the next Grand Prix we'll have the sprint races.
So
Okay.
I was thinking in terms of qualifying versus sprint. I mean, qualifying as it exists at the moment and the sprint qualifying. Yeah, it's more or less around the same amount of time because qualifying nowadays, if you exclude the breaks and the intermissions that you have, it would take up what 40 minutes in
Yeah.
if you were to complete it all in one row. 40, perhaps almost 50, not even that, and now you have just a full blown
Yeah.
30 minutes of racing
Yeah.
or qualifying, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
qualifying racing, sprint
Cool.
racing, qualifying, whatever.
Shaka, let's go for the
Yes,
news.
yeah, let's go for the news. I think we should start with, as we were talking about the sprint qualifying, I think we should start by there, with sorry, with this topic, and simply just mention and say that the team started to complain already about the sprint qualifying, and they haven't happened yet, but they are already saying that they may not or they may skip a full practice session in order to save their clutches so that they can actually do a proper qualifying sprint race.
Excuses, excuses.
I mean, that's kind of sad if they do that.
Man, that's it. That's their problem. If they
If I was
don't,
a sponsor,
if they don't
I wouldn't
get
pay them.
no, that's true. But if they don't get but look, who's going to watch a practice session, especially on Friday? I would like to check uh, the numbers, okay, of people watching practices on a Friday. I think it's very minimal.
At home,
At home, what do you think? What you're
well,
saying? Sorry.
two lines of thought here. One, people who watch the F1 at home. I mean, if they don't actually see it live, they will actually see it on demand at any other given time. But for people who actually go onto the track to watch it
That's
live,
different. Yes, yes,
it's a major turn down because come on, you paid the ticket,
yes,
you
yes.
want to see cars, people, movement, and then you get to see what? Nothing?
You are right.
I mean, it's bad. It's bad for business, bad for Formula One. If they want to have more followers, if they want the community, the F1 community to grow, that's not how you do it.
But it's growing, Shaka. It's growing.
Yeah, and I'm happy that it
Yeah,
is. I'm just saying, come on,
that's
this is
their.
a bit.
I know it's their
It's a
call,
shout out for the teams.
but
Don't do it.
it's their call. It's their call. If they don't do it, they will not have the cars ready for the sprint race anyway. Okay, but don't forget that. Let me look at here the weekends for the sprint races. What we're talking about is, let me check. So we have
November 25.
Friday practice
Yeah,
one, and then qualifying.
yeah, and
Man, did you watch did you confirm the time for
mhm,
this?
everything is late in the afternoon.
Which kind of makes sense, Shaka.
I love it.
Look, practice one for the
2:30.
British Grand Prix is at 2:30 p.m.
Yeah,
Okay, then qualifying is at 6 p.m. So when people get out of the job, right?
pubs.
Pubs, but in the UK, yes, yes,
Yeah, with
and
all
then
the lockdowns and all that, I'm not
practice
sure
two
if
on
people would.
Saturday, and that's it. And sprint qualifying 4:30 and race at 3. I love it, man. I'm starting to love this new schedule.
I, I'm actually very fond of moving F1 instead of lunchtime. Do it more closer to dinner time.
I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
me as well.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so this was the sprint races and what the teams are already saying about them.
Their problem.
True, their problem. So, where do you want to go next? Shoot.
Ferrari, ex-Ferrari principal, Arriva Bene. Do you remember him?
Oh, yes.
What
Quite
happened
well.
to him now? What's his
Well,
next move?
apparently, well, he always had a leg in it, right? And apparently, he's now going full blown, owning Cristiano Ronaldo's ass, Ronaldo.
Not necessarily owning, but yes, yes.
Well, we'll have a share.
Yeah. So basically, what you mean? It means that Maurizio Arrivabene
Maurizio.
will join Juventus, okay, football club, and basically as their top executive, okay,
Mhm.
basically to keep an eye on their finances, okay,
Yeah,
because of the pandemic. Uh, Finances are all over the place, so they need someone to keep an eye on that.
yeah.
And that,
Arriva Bene, he was always tied to Juventus. He always had a leg in there, and now he's their new CEO,
yeah,
basically.
yeah,
So it's going to be quite interesting.
yes, yes. In the meantime, Pleonasm just mentioned F1 is bad for F1. Thank you. But yes,
Overload of engine talking.
I would wait for it. I would love to. Not. I would love. Why am I saying I would love to? No. I remember when Enrico Bene was at Ferrari. I think he
Mhm.
was a very good team principal. To be
True.
honest, better than Binotto right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it was a huge loss for Ferrari when they just sacked him. Um, so yeah. Anyway, he's going to Juventus to do something there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
True.
Plunajmi saying be not for football coach of Juve as well.
Yeah.
No, come on, Plunajmi. Juve already had like a nightmare season this last season with that coach, if we can call it coach, right? It was way too bad. Anyway, next thing you want to talk about, and I would like actually to talk about this one
Sure,
that,
go ahead.
that you've mentioned before. And man, it's really funny. FIA radio traffic, okay, has reduced since F1 started broadcasting them.
Who's
Okay,
happy now? Who's
I,
happy with that?
we, we were reading Michael Massey, obviously. I was reading this you sent me, and I started to laugh because it's really funny. So tell me why, Shaka, why the radio traffic to Michael Massey, the race director, has all of a sudden disappeared, almost disappeared.
Because all of a sudden everyone could tap into conversations that the teams had kind of privately with the race director. And nowadays, this is no longer private. Everyone is listening. Everyone is tapping into these conversations. And obviously, us fans, people who are on the outside, just watching at home, they also get to listen. I mean, it's not a huge volume that we get to hear, but but now because they are open, I mean, all the teams, they can listen
Yeah.
to all the tattletales basically, and yeah, that's it. So now we know.
It
Now
was
we know who.
it was ridiculous, and it was actually funny what Toto Wolff said as well, right? When Bottas spun in the
Yeah.
pit lane, okay,
Yeah.
McLaren just went straight to the radio.
They're very quick.
Yeah, and they said to Masi, "Oh, this was very dangerous, very dangerous. He
Yeah,
needs to get a penalty for this." And then Michael Masi said, "Yeah, you don't need to call me because of that. We will give him a penalty."
it's our
But
job.
exactly,
For crying
and
out loud, come on.
but it was interesting to see what Toto Wolff said. And Toto Wolff said, "Yeah, some people they just want to, as you can see now, that's what they normally do, right? It's just ridiculous." Um, what happens in this
Everyone
case?
does it. Toto Wolff was doing it before.
Of
What was
course,
it? Hey, Michael, can you remove no blue flags? This guy is
yeah,
costing us the race,
exactly,
something.
exactly.
That's in Bahrain or something.
But Toto Wolff said, and I quote, "Highly entertaining how quickly some sporting directors jump on the channel to Masi and come with Armageddon scenarios." Like, oh my god, it's the end of the world. It's spun in the pit lane.
Yeah,
Like, come on, man, keep it cool. So yes, it has decreased. So
it's
it's
like
good.
high school again.
It is, man. It is. They look like kids, man. Come
Way
on.
worse. Not even kids, I would say.
It's bad. Anyway, regarding this, anything else, Shaka?
No, pretty much you nailed it. So that was awesome.
Something that we've checked already,
Hmm.
and we can move on to this next topic, the 2022 cars. We've seen pictures of the new car. Okay,
Yeah,
not team related. It was just an FIA version of it.
yeah,
Okay, and it was really interesting to look at the car, like instead of looking at pictures and
true, true.
computer, how do you say, computerized images,
Yeah, you can say computer generated image,
computer
something like that.
generated
CGI.
images.
Yeah,
Thank you. But to look at the real thing, okay, it was
yeah.
very interesting to see. And
I think it
although
was a very good makeup, to be honest.
Mhm,
So sorry, not makeup,
makeup
mock-up.
is cool.
Yes, makeup.
But Leclerc came to say that the 2022 car feels very different
Yeah,
because he went onto the simulator and tested.
yeah.
Tell me more about it.
Well, it was exactly that, what you just said. So obviously the teams are already, I mean, they already know what the formula is going to be. So they already have these simulations running for them to build their next year's car. So, and the quicker you put a driver behind the simulation to drive it and start getting feedback, the better. So, and that's exactly what Charles did, and not only gave feedback to the team, but also in an interview he actually spoke a little bit more openly about the next year's car, and he said exactly that. It just feels like a vacuum. I think that was the expression, not using these words per se, but yeah. So much different from this year's car, but still fun and interesting. And he didn't go much further, but I think he cannot go that much further either. But basically, that's it. I'm
Yeah.
quite interesting to see that Venturi effect on the
True.
underside of the car
True.
working.
Yeah. That's true. Are we done with this one?
Yeah, I think we are.
I was reading something this afternoon, and I think Pleonasmo will love this because it says here that Alonso will not close the door on becoming Max Verstappen's teammate.
True. Well, Alonso admitted that before joining Alpine, he had conversations with the Red Bull or with the Red Bulls, but didn't come to fruition. So that is that.
Yeah, exactly. But is that something that you see like happening in the future?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so as well.
I when I read that interview, I paused it for a second. I paused my brain to just take some time off and think about that.
But look,
It will depend on how the experience with Paris will go.
with
If
Paris,
it, yeah, because it's since the
what you mean
domination
Paris?
since the domination era of Red Bull,
Paris.
Paris, Checo Perez,
Oh, Paris. I was thinking
Perez,
about Paris like
Perez.
the
Sorry,
city
it's
Paris.
my accent. I
No,
don't know
no,
how to
no, no.
say
It's
its name in
perfect.
English.
It's
It
perfect.
sucks.
It's
Sorry.
perfect.
So yeah,
Checo,
it,
Checo
it will depend
Perez.
how the experience with Checo go. If it goes well,
It's
because
going
they
very
just
well.
hired they hired a different driver, not one from their academy. If it goes well, I believe this can open the door to have like two places, one for like the resident place for a driver within Red Bull's academy, and the other driver seat for someone perhaps in a paddock
Yeah.
already. If it doesn't go that well,
It will not be Alonso.
yeah,
And I was asking you this because I was taking the news to these sites, okay? Because the headline, and this is what I hate about the press and the media and whatever you call it, because the headline says
clickbait.
Alonso won't close the door on becoming Verstappen's teammate. What do you think about this? When you read this, okay, you think, okay, is ready or is open to move on
Red Bull.
to Red Bull and become Verstappen's teammate. Okay, that's fine.
Or that Verstappen would join Alpine.
Sure. But what
Okay.
Alonso said, okay, and I
Mhm.
quote, we still have an opportunity in the future. Okay, maybe not in F1 because I don't think that's a possibility. But in the future, who knows? Both of us love racing, endurance racing, Le Mans, and many things. Okay, so this is what Alonso said. Okay, and
Yeah.
the media came to say that, oh yes, he's not closing the door to race with Verstappen or being teammate with Verstappen. Man, keep it real. I hate these clickbites, man. I hate it. Okay, I just wanted
It
to
could
talk
even
about.
be. It could even be just. Let's call it what? Racing in triathlon or something, or cycling,
Whatever.
or skating, rollerblades
Yeah.
at home. F1, playing F1 each on console or PC, whatever
Yes.
it takes the edge off. In
So,
any case, Plinajmi saying and rightfully saying that Honda will ever again want to have Alonso behind a wheel with a branding with the engine with their branding on the back. The thing here is that as of 2022, it will no longer be Honda, it will
yeah,
just be Red Bull.
yeah,
So whoever they put behind the wheel, it's completely up to them, Red
yeah.
Bull, not
True,
Honda.
true,
Even
true.
though the facility, the people, they were previously from Honda, they
Hmm.
won't be anymore because Red Bull just bought them.
Yeah,
So it's going to be Red Bull calling the shots.
exactly. Okay.
Sorry, sorry, Pleo.
Now, tell
What
me.
else?
Now,
I don't know.
I was going to mention just regarding Kimi Raikkonen's contract.
True.
As we've discussed before, it's ending by the end of this year. Alfa Romeo is still waiting for him to
To decide what to do next.
exactly. So
And they
it's an
already have a replacement in mind for
on
him.
exactly. They're they're just waiting,
They
right?
just need to know, dude, are you staying or are you going?
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, it's interesting to see as well, and quickly moving to the next bit of information that wow,
I'm just checking Pleonasmo's comment here that Red Bull went for the
scrapyards to get the
yes,
pilots. What you're talking about Alonso Plenasmo because they're not going there. So it
ever.
yeah no,
Yeah,
they went for Perez and they did a brilliant move there. Okay,
yeah.
Perez is a very good driver. Okay, F1
But
driver.
also, we need to keep in mind one thing, and that goes for you as well, Pleo, which has to do with Checo comes with a huge check or
Money,
plenty,
money, money.
plenty money from Carlos. What's his face? Carlos Salim.
Yep.
Um, that guru, that billionaire, that Mexican billionaire
Mm-hmm.
from telecoms. So that's also good for Red Bull because, as we said, they bought the whole Honda engineering team for the engine, the factory, the people, etc., all that. So yeah, they do have big pockets, but they have an end. It's not an
Mm-hmm.
endless, bottomless
Yeah.
pocket.
Yeah.
Red.
Um, are we cool with that?
I guess we are.
Okay. Now, just one thing that we didn't mention regarding the Austrian GP this weekend. Okay, it will have a full crowd, right? It will
Is it
be.
Carlos Slim or Carlos Salim? I don't remember.
It's
Perhaps
Carlos.
Slim.
Carlos.
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 Carlos for the friends.
Carlos for the French. This weekend's Grand Prix will have
Yeah, yeah, Slim.
full
Cleo was right.
full
Slim.
crowds. Okay, so gates are open, and F1 fans are welcome to watch the race live. In this case, live by the track. Okay,
Hmm.
so it will be good as well for F1 because I'm thinking about the Euro football
Hmm.
that we've watched some games already with the stadiums fully packed,
Fully,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And it was nice to see that and
People.
how we miss that. It was
True.
completely different. And okay, yes, this is it. And with Formula One is the same. Um, it's different to watch like an F1 race with empty stands, right?
Yeah.
And this weekend
With people in it.
with people in it, and it will be the Dutch the Dutch crowd,
That
right?
will be packed.
Yes,
I'm sure it will
the
be packed.
orange in front of
Mafia.
the bull, the orange wave, let's call it that, in front of the
Yeah.
bull. So yeah, it will be very interesting. Now back to
The
the news.
Netherlands.
Back to the news. It's interesting to see that Toto Wolff is saying one thing, Hamilton is saying a completely different thing, And Verstappen is not
Wait, wait,
buying
wait,
one
wait.
or the other.
Hamilton is crying. Toto Wolff is going one direction, and then you're going to say James Allison going the opposite direction, right?
And Verstappen is in the middle saying, "Yeah, I don't believe what they're saying." So yes. So
The way how I picture this, it's
mm,
like when parents fight each other and then they go separate ways, and then you have the children left in the middle, not knowing what to do or what to say,
yeah,
and that would be like Bottas and Hamilton. But Bottas ain't saying a word, just keeping his mouth shut. That's it.
no one will
Complains
listen to
never.
him.
And then you have Hamilton is asking for another Sunday, but the
Hmm.
parents just left,
Yeah,
split.
yeah,
But yeah, it seems like Mercedes, they are running around like a headless chicken at the moment.
yeah.
I wish I could say this is an act, but it's not.
It's not. It's not. Before we go to this bit of news, Plenajm says, "Yep, with football it went very well. Thousands of COVID transmissions afterwards. Yeah, let's do that." Um, from what I understood, okay, people that went to the game, so to the stadium, were tested before going in. So whoever was in the stadium uh, had the negative test to
Yes.
COVID. What
Or
happened?
that new digital key credential.
Yeah. What happened around the stadium? That's different, yes. But whoever was inside the stadium, uh, they had to test themselves and have a negative test for COVID. So yeah,
Well, in reality, this new, and sorry to bring this COVID issue to the table, but I guess we have to talk about it because it's here, it's present.
where,
But
where?
this, well,
It's
out
not
there
here. It's
apparently,
not here.
yeah. But yeah, this new Delta mutation, it seems to be very powerful and transmissible, which is a shame. And obviously, we don't want cases to increase. So in one hand, yeah, we need to be mindful and careful with
True,
what we do.
true. But don't forget one
We've
thing.
raised awareness before.
When we were talking about watching the games and see like the crowd in the stadium or watching an F1 race with the stands fully packed, I was talking about us watching it in the TV. Okay,
Mhm.
it is good to see that. Okay,
It's awesome.
so for us that we are safely watching it from home. Okay, um, that's just what we want. Okay,
Right. And
so
I would say for people to go into the track as viewers, I would say they would have to go with a full hazmat suit on them so that they could, safely be there and
yeah.
watch it.
Shaka, did I tell you that last year I went to the F1 race in Portimao?
So next on the news, right? You were talking about the Mercedes, right?
I was there. It was amazing. I had the mask on all the time inside
The
the
venue, the
the
track,
venue, the surroundings as well.
stand.
So yes, and I had space, so we were safe. It was amazing. I just wanted to point out that that. Anyway, McLaren. Why was I going to say McLaren now? Not McLaren.
Well, we still have to talk about Mercedes
Mercedes. Yes. So
and
Mercedes.
how they put themselves into this position.
Well, apparently, yes, something went wrong there. But before we go there, so Toto Wolff said, we are no longer developing this car. Okay, we are
Hmm?
focusing on the next year's car. Yes.
Yes. And what did James said?
And then James said, Shaka.
James Allison, who's the one of the highly chief
Hmm.
engineers, people that deal with developments for the car. The guy just came in and said that yes, we will still be introducing updates on the W12 and for this year,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So
And then Hamilton came around and said today that yeah, we were expecting these updates. Okay, and I know that we are still working in this car on this car. So yes, I believe that we will have more upgrades on this year's car because
reason.
because of reasons.
Because reasons, yes.
Yeah, no, but he said, and I quote, "I knew that we had that upgrade coming. At the end of the day, the guys are working. Everyone is working absolutely flat out." Okay, so and he also said, "We are learning more and more about this car, and we are discovering where we need to push more and extract more. And I have all the confidence in the team that we will do that over the course of time." All right, so this is what Hamilton is saying, the opposite of what Toto Wolff said, and well, quite the opposite of what James Ellison also said. So,
That Hamilton speech, it's awesome, especially if if you memorize it and then if you close your eyes and you just read it again in your mind and you think about that Hamilton is talking about the Red Bull car
yeah,
because it totally works, and it feels like Hamilton is actually talking about as an innocent bystander watching Red Bull developing the
yeah,
car.
yeah.
So, but yeah, this is just a joke, obviously, what I'm saying. But in any case, yeah, apparently updates, upgrades, they are coming, heading
Hmm.
the paddock, and yeah, hopefully Mercedes they will
True.
try to take the fight onto
Yeah,
Red Bull's door.
I think Toto is just doing some mind games with the Red Bull. I don't think that they will just give up on this year's car yet. Okay, because then came Verstappen to say that exactly that. Verstappen just mentioned that, and I quote, "I don't expect them to give up, but rather to fight until the end." And then he said something that was actually quite interesting. We were faster at this circuit, okay, Red Bull Ring, but not so much in France. And that is true. In France, they were not that
No,
ahead from the
yeah,
Mercs. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so we have to, and he said we have to look at each circuit. It's still a long season. We haven't completed that many races, and we have to wait and see which way things will fall. It's exactly what the way he needs to think. It's exactly
Hmm.
like this. Okay, it's
Yeah, yeah.
every race is a race. Okay, and we'll see where we are at each given race,
True
basically.
that. And to be fair to Mercedes, they could have vetoed the upgrades that Honda planned on introducing,
Hmm.
but they didn't. They in a way they saw this coming.
Yeah.
They saw that Honda could, perhaps this is too much what I'm going to say, but they could, Honda overpowered
Hmm.
Mercedes in terms of engine output, power output.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mercedes they had the power to completely annihilate Honda, but they didn't. They decide, okay, yeah, you go ahead, you introduce those
Yeah.
upgrades, whatever. We'll take the gamble,
They were not expecting to be that good.
but they weren't expecting to be that
Yes.
good,
Yes, and so they failed there. So yes, Plionage, we're talking about the
miserably.
engine again. Okay, talking about the engine, just a quick bit of info. Shaka, Ferrari's engine is 25 to 30 horsepower down on Honda's new power units, and the Renault is 20 to 25 horsepower deficits compared to the
There you go.
Honda's power unit. Okay, we also know that Renault have put all their effort in the new engine for 2022. So as we've mentioned before, and as you've mentioned before as well, Shaka, Alpine is already focused in 2022. Okay, and Ferrari, they are also said to be working on a radical concept. Okay, which they hope will fire them back to the top of the grid. So
Fire them back to the top. I'm sorry, that's a poor choice of words, but in any case,
look, fire them because the engine needs to fire, right?
yeah. And the first one to go out is gonna be Matias Benotto.
Hopefully,
Binotto.
hopefully for Ferrari, yes, and
I
for the
mean,
Ferrari fans.
I cannot say I cannot that blame culture that Ferrari has. It's working against them at all levels. Working
Yeah,
against them. They do not
true.
bring. They don't look for stability. They don't look for the problem. when the problem is actually with themselves, they just look on to blame someone, fire that someone. Well, it's not working for since Domenicali's
It was
era. That's not
Domenicali, it
working.
was Arrive Bene, it's been not for now. We'll see.
Yeah, and then you had the other one before. What's his face? He was just there for what, like mid-season, but that
Oh,
guy was temporary. So many, I don't remember. I
yeah.
could Google it, but I'm just
No,
too
no, no
lazy.
worries. That's fine. Um, Plinage mentioned when Hamilton says we are working in the car, he means everybody else in the team. He just went a couple of hours to the simulator, and that is it.
Well,
If
actually,
he
that's
went
his
on the
job.
simulator,
He's a driver. He's not an engineer. Please don't get things mixed up. That's when beep hits the fan. Don't. Drivers, they drive the car, they provide feedback. That's it. Engineers, they don't drive the car, they work on the feedback given by drivers and they try to make it better.
and the drivers
They
they need
analyze the
to,
data
yeah,
and
the drivers need to be very assertive, very precise with the information that they give back to the
objective. Yes,
very objective, yes, with all the details they provide back to the engineers. And I
exactly.
remember we had an amazing example, Senna, for instance,
Hmm.
that the only thing that he had to do was going into the car, do a couple of laps, and then coming back into the pits and say, okay, the car needs this, this, and this. And
Yeah,
the computers, there is some stories around this. The computers, they didn't detect anything,
they
okay,
didn't pick up. Yeah,
exactly, but it was there because Senna mentioned it. And then when they were just checking into the engine and all that, they said, "Oh, he was right. The computer didn't pick up on this, but he did." So yes, Schumacher was also more or less like that. So they had
yeah.
this feeling with the car. So it is very important for a team to have a very good driver, test driver, for instance, okay,
Hmm.
that will provide valuable feedback.
Yeah, the test driver, the development driver, the reserve driver.
The first driver, yes.
Yeah, I mean all the drivers that they have, because if you come to think about it, they don't have just the two drivers on track. They also have the ones that actually they don't go on track, but they do all the work in the factory. So very important there.
But look, for instance, Antonio Felix da Costa,
Hmm.
the F Formula E world champion,
Yeah.
when he was a Red Bull driver or in the Red Bull Academy, he was a test driver, but he was all the time in the simulator. So while they were racing, imagine in Japan or wherever, okay, he was in the simulator just doing tests, just to provide feedback to the team in the track. So yeah, it was amazing the way they worked. Yeah.
Yeah, and Pleonasmo is bringing also something, some interesting fact, which is the computing power of the 90s compared to the actual
Yes.
computer power nowadays. Obviously, yeah, it's a world difference,
Of course
and
it
yeah,
is. Of
obviously
course it
we have
is.
much more information and data. And
You have
actually, if you
sensors
guys,
all around the car. You have
yeah,
sensors for the rear wing. You have sensors for the suspension, for the tire, for the wheel, for the wheel nuts, for the engine, for the piston, for
humidity, G forces, I mean,
man,
you name it,
for
whatever you want to
everything.
measure.
Yes, yes,
But by the way, if you guys want to hear more about F1 techie stuff, and if you are interested and keen to know more about this, leave us a comment below, and we will do a video on that based on whatever you guys want to hear about it. Cool?
Do you want to know? I just googled this. Do you want to know how many sensors on average an F1 car has?
I would say with between 5,000 and 10,000.
No, not that many.
No?
No.
2,000 then.
It's no. With help from over 300 sensors on each car, McLaren's F1 ECU deals with over 1,000 input uh, details and transmits more than 1.5 gigabytes of live data back to the garage during an average of 300 kilometers Grand Prix.
And there's where Qualcomm comes into place. I
It's
won't go
amazing.
further into this, but if you want to know more about it, leave your comment below.
It's amazing. It is amazing. Formula One and engineering, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Next
So
thing in
yeah,
line, Shocker.
next thing, I think I mean, we talked about the Mercedes vetoing Honda's
Hmm.
update. I think the only thing that we are missing it's kind of
Igora
a
Drive.
they what?
Igora Drive? Is it what
Yeah,
they call? What's it called?
we've mentioned before that Sochi or Sochi, the current venue, the Russian venue for the F1,
Hmm.
um, from what is it next year onwards from
Oh my
2000.
God! I just read something.
What? Are you okay?
No, I'm not. Do you
What?
know who designs the Igora Drive venue?
Uh, tell what's his face? The German guy?
Herman Tilke.
Yeah, that one.
Oh God.
So, what are we talking about? We're talking about Sochi being swapped. I mean, the Russian Grand Prix at the moment is held at Sochi
Oh
and being
God.
swapped to another venue within Russia, obviously. And what was on the table would be, as we advanced last time, St. Petersburg. That would be like a street circuit,
Oh
or
God.
Igora. I don't know how to say that. Igora Drive. That would be their the best bet, or is the best bet at the moment. It's a new track,
Ah,
and
Herman
apparently,
Tilke.
Alex, you want to give us more information on that?
No, man.
Which
I just read what didn't want to read, man.
again, most of these tracks are designed by this German guy,
Why? Why they keep giving like
Till.
job to this guy, man?
So Tilk, he's the mastermind behind these recent F1 tracks.
An evil one.
I don't know why, but the FIA just seems to running to this guy. I don't know if they have a contract, if he's the only one that can do this, or if he has like an exclusive contract with the FIA.
Why, man?
In any case, he had some good venues, some good tracks, some
Tell me
good
one,
designs in the
Shaka.
back in the past.
Just one.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you. The problem, and I'm going to say something about this, because the problem with Herman Tilke is that, okay, he designs the tracks and amazing, yes, amazing tracks, etc. But then when you go to a race, okay, and when you see cars racing there, there is a lack of uh,
Overtaking opportunities.
exactly. Okay, so the tracks are wide. You have plenty of space. You can do whatever you want. You have like humongous straights, interesting.
Safe for everyone.
Yes, interesting
Safety
turns.
above all. Blah blah blah. Yada
Exactly.
yada.
Everything is beautiful. However, when it comes to racing, and that's what we love, overtaking and racing and etc. Man, I fail to remember good races in those tracks, unless something happens,
Yeah.
of course.
Um. Well, we'll have to wait and see for the confirmation.
Do you want to look at the track, Shaka?
Well, do you want me to send you a picture? Do you
No, I
want to
have
put
it
it on
here.
our Instagram?
I will put it eventually in the Instagram. Okay, but I will
Okay.
just show it here as well. So we will eventually do a video about this track. Okay,
Hmm.
but just so we can give a little glimpse. Okay, let me just get this thing right here.
Well, this is a new circuit. It was built in what, 2019, I think.
Yeah,
So it's 2 years old. So it's quite recent. I think
I don't
we've
mind.
seen some, what was it, DTM there, racing there.
DTM, yes, yes.
Um, yeah, don't know.
This is a track, guys.
There you have it. You've seen it before, and you've seen it here live on this channel.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking, where are they going to overtake, Shaka? Turn one.
Doesn't this
Turn one.
remind
It's
you
the
of
only one.
something?
Yeah, yeah, more or less, yes.
So if you were to turn on to Estoril or Barcelona
Estoril, Barcelona,
and you
yes.
stretch it
Yeah.
and then you shrink the sides and then you
Yeah.
put some
Yeah.
sort of,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
something in the middle,
The
just
only
breaking the
place I can
center.
see here to overtake Shaka, correct me if I'm wrong, is turn one.
I would say
And and
perhaps turn one
and
and turn two.
turn two.
That break
No, because the straight before is like way too.
very little
Yeah.
could be. Perhaps turn nine is quite fast, so you
Turn
want.
nine, no, because it's fast.
Yeah. Then I would
Turn
say
13,
around 17,
13, no, because it's
17,
also
18, perhaps.
fast.
The last turn or second to
No,
last, perhaps.
last turn 17 or 18, whatever that is reminds me of Paul Ricard. At the last turn, exactly. I think the only place is or that straight here. This one that the this one after turn 12. Probably they will have the DRS there, so I don't know. I
Mm.
don't like it, man. I don't like it. We will just we'll do a video about
By the way,
this.
who built, or well, not built, who designed Jeddah, the Saudi Arabian circuit? I don't think it was Tilke.
Hopefully not.
Well, in any case, yes, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
Um,
but we'll do a video.
Hopefully,
We'll do a
it
video on
will
this
be.
one as well.
Yeah,
Okay, just to understand better and to go into details. That's for sure.
sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call it a wrap for today, I would say, because we've talked about
Several
kind
things.
of the
Yes.
highlights of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple more news, but obviously you can check them on our Instagram, and
Mm-hmm.
we will be updating those as news develop. Um,
I
Leading
think I think Bin
Bin
Laden
Laden.
is has passed away. Pleonasmo.
Well, he didn't say which Bin Laden.
True. Bin Laden. Do you want to talk about Bin Laden or should I?
No, I don't. Why should I give him like?
Because it has to do with Formula One as well. Bin Laden family. In the late 70s,
Mhm,
beginning of the 1980s,
mhm.
the Bin Laden family was a sponsor, one of the main sponsors of
Yes.
The Williams team,
See,
and they had like a huge logo in the front of the car.
yeah.
So yes, Bin Laden name at least is also part of the
Formula
Formula
One
One world. Yes,
family.
yeah, it was. Yeah,
They are stretched throughout the world.
yeah. But
So yeah. What else? What else you want to add?
nothing. One thing very important, guys. Bin Laden and Williams. It all makes sense. Very important, guys. Don't forget one
Remember?
important thing. Okay, actually, this is something that we are going to start to do because several of our viewers were asking last weekend where can they just add their predictions for the race. And I said, just text me or whatever. So what we are going to do, Shaka, is, and you have to remember me to remind me about this on Saturday after qualifying. I will add a post on Instagram. Okay, just asking about the prediction for the race based on the qualifying and whatever you think. All right, so guys, just join us in this game. All right, again, it's just for fun. Okay, but join us. Just add your predictions there on the comment box. Again, if you want to text me or text Shaka with your predictions, just do so. All right, but
Yeah.
you will have on Instagram the opportunity to add your predictions for the rest.
If
Top
if
5 predictions.
if you don't see the actual post on Instagram, you can always send us a message because the channel on it's open. The Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
our Instagram is open, and you can leave us a message. So
Yeah.
you can just send us a private message, or you don't actually have to have an account, an Instagram account for you to follow us on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You can just go to your whatever web browser you have.
Yeah,
You just type in Instagram.com, run a search for F1 this and that. It's opened, as I said, and from your browser you can leave a comment. You can just mingle with us.
that's true. That's what we want, okay? Because we want to talk about Formula One, because that's what we love. Yes?
Yeah.
All right, so next steps. Shaka. Tomorrow, practice 1 and 2. Saturday, practice and qualifying. After the qualifying, we will want your predictions up to the start of the race. Then the race on Sunday. And then we will come back here on Monday to do the chat reviews, the Austrian
Mhm.
GP. Right?
Yeah. Right you are, my friend.
So we'll see you
Right you are.
on Monday. Yeah? Did we send
We
eggs already?
shall.
Oh, we
We
did,
did,
yeah.
but you can do more if you
No, no,
want
no,
to.
no, 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 no.
Thank goodness.
We're done. I'm
I
done with eggs.
appreciate that.
Yes. It's always a stress when you ask me about my
Oh,
hugs.
one quick thing, just for you to know.
Mm.
We had a Turkish viewer. Well, I'm gonna rephrase that. We had a Portuguese in Turkey watching us on our last video, just so you know.
Welcome.
Yes. Are you happy?
I am very happy.
I knew.
Yes,
I knew it.
of course I am.
You're thrilled, right?
I
Well,
think
in any case, guys, questions,
that's good.
leave leave them on your comments below.
Yeah.
Follow us on all the platforms where we are present. So
Facebook,
yeah, exactly.
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
Yeah,
What else? We don't have TikTok because reasons.
because reasons exactly. So if you liked of what you just saw here, yeah. Oh God,
Even
sleepy
if you
now.
don't like,
Yeah, just leave a like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to know more about us, and hit the bell button as well if you want to stay up to date with all the developments on Formula One and
all our
all about
contents.
the highlights, because obviously we won't bore you with the all the nitty and gritty, but at least the highlights we will try to bring them up here on the channel. Cool.
Plinasmo has a question, and
Wait. What? A question?
man,
It's gonna be about TikTok.
oh
Why?
no,
Why?
no.
It's not.
I thought it was something different. Yes, this weekend we'll have practice one, a Chinese driver driving the Alpine, and
Do you want to
when
see his name?
I was going to, but you saved me, saved by the bell, saved by Shocker. It's Guanzu Zinzua,
Guan Guan Yu
Guan Yuzu.
Du. Wait, I need to go and read it again.
It's difficult, man. Sorry, Gwen Yuzu. He is
How hard can it be? The guy must wonder.
for
Yeah.
us. So what's the name?
Wait. It's
Gwen Yuzu.
Guan Yu Zhu. Yeah.
Gwen Yuzu. Yes, he is in line for. He'll be the future of Alpine. I truly believe that. Not now, because Esteban Ocon has a 3-year deal in his pockets and Alonso a 2-year deal. So I would say in 3 years' time, he'll be there.
Yeah.
It just needs to have patience. Yes. Cool. Plenage, any other question? Thank God you didn't ask the question I thought you were going to ask. Okay, so thank you for that. And that's it. Hopefully, we'll just finish this before you ask the question.
Yes.
Because I know him. I know him very well, and he will do it. Cool. Shaka, anything else?
No. Nothing.
Are we done?
I think we are.
Cool. Very well. Guys, thank you so much. And see you on Monday at around 10 p.m., if not before. Yes?
Yes, indeed. Ta-da.
This tada. Yes?
Yes. See you next.